Here, just want to do a quick video about this S-Tech system and kind of the setup I have for the ZR2. The unit here, I have the main unit and I have a 60 amp breaker down below. The way I installed this is, you can see we have this hydraulic lift spring here on our hoods, and so you got to have a little gap away from this piece. I like it here best, close to the battery, not on top of stuff. But all I did was used a 1/4 inch riv nut, 2 of those, and these little spacers. I basically got these at Lowe's. These are just little spacers that fit in a, I don't know, that's probably a 4-inch bolt. I had to add another nut here. It's not actually threaded, but it's just giving me a little more of a gap. And then I also added another, this is just like a little L bracket that zip ties this breaker onto. Running the wire through the firewall, which is back in here. Nothing fancy about that. I basically just punched a hole in there, and what I did was I attached the little wire piece from the S-Tech unit, basically taped it up to a some wire and ran it through, pulled it in from the inside of the truck, and basically just breached the firewall right there through that opening. What's cool about this S-Tech, again, the system I have on the inside here is I got this little 6-piece pod, which Scott has this little piece of plastic too. I needed a little standoff, another piece of little plastic that goes on the back side of this. I punched a hole, run the wire through there, and then basically you just pull off this panel here, and probably can't see it, but there's my wire right there, and it's nice and tucked away, away from my brake and gas pedals. But as you can see here, you have 4 15 amp units, a 20 and a 30, and the way they work is button 1 is the 30, button 2, button 3, 4, 5, 6. The one thing that frustrated me with the literature and stuff that comes with the installation is and even with the way it best installs here, is the cord comes off of the top, which is really the bottom. So this is actually installed in reverse. This is actually number 1, and that's with the cord being right here where my finger is. So on top, it feeds in better as opposed to if it was on the bottom feeding in. So number 1 is here, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 get fed in. One of the things I recommend doing is on this little setup here is these are kind of one-time uses. So I installed, as you can see here, just cord, so that way if I attach a light on here and then I want to switch out that light, I'm not stuck with having to cut into these. I can basically trim this down, and that's going to give me a little bit of life on this cord here. But again, it's really plug and play in here. I think anybody should be capable of installing this unit if you get the riv nut. Again, 2 riv nuts, really 3, right? So I did 3 here, and then look, that the breaker, it goes under it perfectly. This just snaps on. As such. There it goes. Snaps on perfect. Wires are all out of the way. Hood closes. And again, as you add lights, everything plugs in. I haven't had any issues with this setup, so Hit me up if you have questions about the S-Tech and the way I installed this in here. I'd be happy to answer any questions.